Welcome back to the homestead. It is 5 a.m. in the morning and we are headed to Minnesota.
Come to Minneapolis. We didn't.
Do you want to be on this?
You asked for something bigger.
The only thing you need to know, I guess, is if we roll over and I become unconscious and the vehicle is not, you want it to stop running, that's the key.
Okay.
This is the emergency battery kill.
Okay.
This is the emergency fuel shut off. So like an old tractor, you pull that, it will kill the motor.
Okay.
That's off the fuel.
All right.
Escape hatch
Okay.
or sunroof.
This thing is so
That's amazing, huh? This just feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's floating bog, by the way.
That's what?
That's floating bog. So you see it moving, it's just on top of the water.
Adult amusement park, huh? Whoa.
We just bounced off the tree.
You know there's a tree. Rentals? Oh man.
Now we're floating.
I'm in a boat.
Yeah.
How deep is it below us?
About 10 feet.
Look at all the mosquitoes.
You have full control in the water.
So how does this work, like as a boat?
Just climbed out.
All right, so Josh very graciously pulled all the engine compartments off so we could see how this thing works. This was really important to me. So I want to give you a real quick layout of the controls, and then we'll go to the back and look at the engine. I was surprised it had a Kubota diesel in it, that's really good. So in here inside, it's very basic, the controls. Let me see that camera, I'll take that here. So you're kind of like an old dozer. You've got your steering brakes right here. So you're just your left, just full lockup right there. You've got a clutch on the left, standard clutch. Can you see that? It's a little bit dark. And this is our accelerator, foot accelerator. All the switches, and then our standard gauges up here, and then GPS. Here we just got just a regular 5-speed transmission. Battery cutoff, external backup battery, so you can flip that switch if you run your battery dead and start up. It's a battery that gets charged on an inverter, but won't be ran down, kind of like we did in the van. Of course, the fuel cutoff switch. The other thing that was really nice right in the back is the whole thing's all padded. So it's got all this padding on it, because if you're not in the seats, you do get jostled around in the back. And check out the molly. Let's see. So the whole wall is all covered with molly or pals, so you could weave on different containers, baskets, and all of that. Really well laid out. Let's look at the outside, and then we'll take you over to the engine. So this is kind of cool. So the whole body underneath, this is basically a boat, and it's got kind of what would you call, Josh, almost an armor-plated steel, or like equivalent to an AR-200 steel, and then the top section's all aluminum. So that's going to keep it's not going to roll over, be too tippy, get that weight off the top of it. You come in, you can go in the back or the front. It's just classic Russian, just very simple, easy to use. The tires are really cool. So these tires are, would you say 3 pounds? They can run basically from 0 to 3 pounds of pressure. Yep. The cool part is that these centers here are auxiliary fuel tanks. So the main fuel tank is 18 gallons, and then what's the total capacity, Josh, with all 4 of these filled up roughly?
Oh, I'd have to look at the specs.
A lot.
Yeah.
You could go a long ways. So yeah, so you can see the tires. They've got kind of the paddles on there, so that's what gives it its forward momentum in the water. You said top speed about 4 miles an hour in ideal situation.
Yeah, 28 on land.
Yeah. So here's the exhaust that's coming out. So it looks like the engine's mounted transversely, sideways mounted. Yeah, you just don't think of it. It is a boat. It's essentially a boat with wheels. Here's the diesel tank, and then the back cargo space. And then let's go inside and we'll look at this. This is a cool part. So this is, what'd you say, about a 44, 45 horse Kubota diesel. How this works is so clever and so simple. The diesel engine is mounted sideways. Let me get the light brighter here. The diesel engine is mounted sideways here. You can see right there is the drive shaft, and that drive shaft now runs this chain. This is the main engine chain, which is going to be turning this. Everything is so huge. I mean, look at the size of that shaft. That's like something you'd see on like a D8. There's a huge shaft across there. It's probably what, almost 2.5 inches in diameter, solid steel. And then that runs over here, and it's chain drive. So these chains, and these chains are monstrous, run over, and that's what is driving the axle. One of the coolest parts is that the tires auto-inflate, and they use the exhaust. So this tubing right here is diverted from the exhaust, and that goes in and inflates and deflates the tire. I mean, you were doing that all day long. Depending on the conditions from the cab, he was changing it. So you can see the drive chain there. That's to the right rear. The drive chain up to the front, and exactly the same copy over here. This is cool. So how it steers and how it brakes is, it's simple. It's just a basic caliper setup. So we got 3 brake calipers. This one here is for the emergency brake. And then this one here is for your left steering brakes, and this one here is for your right steering brakes. So to work on this thing, if you had a problem, what they were kind of going after was, if you're 40 below 0 and you have a problem with this thing, you don't want to be outside wrenching on something. Everything can be repaired and is repaired from inside the machine. You can't even access it from the outside because it's a boat. They've made the majority of the bolts all universal, so there's only just a couple tools that you use. Josh was telling me that this whole bag is all you need to repair, basically repair the whole thing. It's all in that bag. You got dry storage here where I'm standing. It's just so simple. It'd be so nice to get back to this. Vehicles are getting so complicated, you can't work on them anymore. Just anyway, if you can change brakes, you can fix the clutch on this.
There's no computer.
All the chains are all the same. You know, the drive chains the same size as the main engine chain. So if you had a problem or you needed to share or make a master link, Josh was telling me that it can drive out of the bog on 3 wheels. Is that right?
Yeah, even 2.
2 wheels.
So your kit comes with a master link.
Yeah, there's your master. Look at the size of that.
Your kit comes with a section of chain,
Look at the size of that master link.
full wrench set, spanner wrench.
You got a bilge pump. Josh, you said you added that.
We added the bilge pump just in case.
Get a little water over the back if you really hit your win at it. But this is really cool. Everything's padded. LED lights. And you can sleep. There's sleeping cots in here, right?
Yeah, so right over here, each side has it. These flip out and down, so you can cinch this up, and then from the back to the front is over 6 feet. So you can lay a mat down, you can sleep up here, you can
Is
sleep
that
up on
right?
the other side, and then they say 2 more people could sleep down in the middle area. I say 1 unless it's my wife. But
Sure, sure. Yeah. That's optimistic, right? So what is this right here?
that's the Webasto diesel turbine heater.
There you go. So that's basically like the same system we put in the adventure van. Runs off the diesel tank, so you don't have to carry any additional fuel. So how cold can this thing operate?
These are built for Siberia. We've done
As
demos-
cold as it gets.
We've done demos in 30 below.
Yeah. Wow. This is really, really cool. I wanted to thank you, Josh, for inviting Mrs. W and I out. We had a really great time. It was very gracious of you to take us around, and what a cool machine.
It was a
Very,
blast
very
having you
cool
both.
machine, and I look forward to putting this video together.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I'll put your information if you'd like to look at one of these, and we'll put it in the subject heading as well.
Great.
And how much do you think these things cost? Do you know? What would you
Two,
guess?
$295.
295,000?
Yeah.
Good, little over $250,000?
Yeah.
No. We're a little over 100,000. What was the total price?
110,300.
110,300, and that's it. Non-negotiable. It is what it is.
That's the lowest price they're available for in the
You're not going to
US.
find one anywhere else, right?
No, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, very cool machine. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next video. That is a truly amazing vehicle. You should have seen Mrs. W. She's squealing, squealing all day. So I want to give a special thanks to Josh and also my friend and fellow YouTuber Stanley, the Dirt Monkey. He set this whole thing up. He's a super awesome guy, and I'd invite you, if you like to see more on the Sherp, and if you like tools and trucks and heavy equipment and cool things, go over and subscribe to his channel. I'll put it up here in the top left. We also met a new friend, our friend Greg Whitstock, the pawn guy, who also is a YouTuber, who started a business in high school building ponds and turned it into a $60 million a year business with a 300,000 square foot manufacturing facility, and just an awesome, crazy guy as well. And I've really been enjoying his videos. I'll put his stuff over on the top right. So go on over there and subscribe to these guys. They're just awesome dudes, and well, that's it. Don't forget to click the thumbs up, and we'll see you guys on the next video.